everyone. How are you today? I am Jackie, and we are going to start our chair yoga practice today. Obviously, I am not there live, so I'm going to give you a moment to get your chairs situated. You just want to be in an area where you can move your arms and legs a little bit. This class will be done mostly from the seat of the chair. Between that and we may do a few standing poses. So take a moment, get your chair organized, get yourself situated. I hope you're doing well today. So once you get your chair situated, you can go ahead and sit back as far back as you can so that your back is leaning against the back of the chair. I like to keep my feet up because my chair is a little bit big, but you might keep 2 feet on the ground. That is a good way to be. So you want to feel symmetrical right now and also grounded and settled. You can put everything else down. This is a class of monotasking, so I want you to just be focused on what we're doing. Now that said, let me give you some guidelines for practice. It's important that you modify or change anything that does not work for you. We are not here to push ourselves. We are here to be present and to adapt to what we need to do. So please modify, skip, or change anything. If even a breathing practice or a meditation doesn't work for you, you should also skip that. All right, so this is really the science of you, and really working today on our stress response and becoming more resilient in being able to shift from the stress response, from that feeling of fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, to a more present, aware, and restful. That doesn't mean sleep restful, that means calm and safe. And we should be able to, it's natural for us to shift between those two. We go into a fight or flight situation, we come out and go back into regulation. But unfortunately, because many of us are not aware of how to do it, or aware that we really don't deal with our stress response very well, we're not very responsive to our stress response, and therefore the stress just builds up, and then we wonder why we're so reactive, right? So we can learn how to do this, and what I really love about using different things that come from mindfulness and yoga and meditation is that they're free. So once you learn them, you are able to go ahead and put them into practice, and you should, because it's going to make a big difference in your life. None of us wants to walk around with that feeling of fight, flight, or freeze all the time. We call that chronic stress, anxiety, depression. And so we want to have moments of ease and safety throughout our day. So let's go ahead and practice some of that today. So again, this is about becoming curious and noticing what works best for you and your body. So I'm going to invite you to sit back now. You could close your eyes if you like. And just to get grounded and connected. So letting your awareness settle on 3 places where you meet the floor or the chair. So maybe that's your feet on the ground or your seat in the seat of the chair. The way your back's leaning back. Just be aware now and count 3 places where you're connected physically. And as you feel those 3 areas, can you move a little bit more toward them? So So you might push back a little bit or sit down a little deeper. And this is a nice way to anchor right into the present moment through your physical body. And as you feel these three areas again, you might silently say to yourself, I'm here now. And right now, in this moment, all is well, or I'm safe enough right now. For the next point of awareness, I'd like you to realize that there's space around you. You're sitting here in a chair, but you're in a room. In this room, there are sounds. Can you sit and just let 2 or 3 sounds come to your attention? Now, when you hear the sounds, let them be as they are. Sometimes you'll note sounds that are outside the room and sounds that are inside the room. And what else is in this space of this room? Can you sense what's around your body? Is there light or dark? Temperature? Smell or taste? So we're anchoring through our senses now, where we are, in the room, around us, in the present moment. And just relax into that, knowing these things are part of the practice. They don't have to distract or bother us. They're just here. All right, now let's come back to the body. And specifically, let's come to know our breathing. So at first, if you just recognize your breath or recognize that your breath is breathing for you, you weren't doing it on purpose, right? So we're just connecting with what's already happening. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware I'm breathing out. Just try that for a few seconds. Isn't it amazing that the breath breathes you? You don't have to think about it. You don't have to do it. It's automatic. It's amazing. You might smile for a moment. That's amazing. I'm breathing. There's a lot of good there. More good than bad. Maybe you feel a little smile. All right, now let's go ahead and start to work with our breathing. Your breath is one of the easiest ways to work with your stress response. And everyone's different. So I'd like to offer a couple of different practices. The first one will just be connecting the breath in the diaphragm or in the belly. So diaphragmatic breathing. And if you like, you can place hands near your belly button. I like to put mine just right above. If it causes stress in your body to do that, then don't. Or some people like to put a hand at the heart, a hand at the abdomen. Now I'd like you to just gently start to deepen your in-breath enough so you feel your belly kind of press out toward your hand. And you don't want to be intense about this. Sometimes I use the percentage of about 30%, right? So you feel about 30%. And then you relax as you exhale. Breathing in slow, feeling a little rise in the belly, breathing out, relax. And we're just going to let our attention rest on this slow, deep belly breaths. If you like words, you can silently hear the words soft as you breathe in and belly as you breathe out. We'll try this as an invitation for 1 full minute. That's 10 full breaths. Slowing it way down, everyone. I'm watching the time, maybe 3 or 4 more. Good. Now you can relax and maybe let your hands relax. And I want you to just check in. So for some folks, right when they begin this diaphragmatic breath, they'll feel kind of a relaxation response kicking in. And for some, it takes longer and it takes more practice. And for some, it has the opposite effect. So I want you to just check in and see any effects of that practice. Remember, it's not one size fits all. And checking in is another big practice here. You're going to hear me ask you to check in a lot. Noticing how you feel. Where is the stress? Did I relieve some of the stress? Okay, it's called awareness, capital A. Now, one more breathing practice right here, and this one will add a counting to our breathing. In this practice, I'm going to encourage you to lengthen your exhalation. So your exhale will be longer than your inhale. You can use my count or you can shorten the count if you need to. So I'm going to invite the count of 4 counts in, and then you'll pause at the very top and rest at the top. You'll do 7 counts out and rest at the bottom. We'll do the first 2 together. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold or pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rest. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rest. All right, I'll invite you to continue slow and steady now on your own. Could you continue on for 3 more rounds? to the bottom, just relax. I'll ask you to take a hand to your heart now. So a hand to the heart, for some, can be a moment to pause and check in. It's a sign and a reminder. So check in, how are you doing? And you might even feel and check in with how your heart is beating. You might feel your heartbeat has slowed down a bit, and you might not. Okay. So let's go into a little bit of movement now. So some movements that can help with our stress response. So I'm going to invite us now to move away from the back of the chair. So we're sitting at the edge of the chair now, but you want to be nice and grounded and anchored. All right, remember we're going for safety here, right? So I'm going to move my chair back so you can see my feet. My feet are going to be nice and firm on the ground. All right, so we're going to do something called cat and cow. We'll do it a little differently today. So I'm just going to take my hands, rest them down onto my shoulders, my elbows pointing down, and I'm just going to roll my spine, pulling my belly button slightly in and up. And then as I inhale, I'm going to open up my chest and lift my elbows and eyes to the sky. Okay, use your breath, breathing round, lifting up, slow it down, lift it up. Now on the lift it up, can you take your hands behind your head, interlace, so you're going to feel a little shelf for your head. Let your head rest in your hands and let your elbows open wide. Eyes will go up to the sky. Open or closed. Deep breath in and out. Remember your diaphragmatic breaths. All right, now let's move from side to side. So right arm up and left arm down. Left arm up and right arm down. Could you go one more time each way, real slow? Coming back through and just softening the elbows down, opening and closing the hands. And then bringing the right hand over toward the left knee, left hand behind, shifting up through the crown of the head and then gently turning the head toward the left. And then toward the right. Turning left. And right. Keep the breath moving. See if you can do that one more time. Rotating back to the middle. Extending the arms slightly up. And then twisting now to the right. Left hand to right, right hand behind. Lengthening up. Remember to get the breathing and the diaphragm if you can. Inhale. Exhale, head turns to the left. And now back toward the right. Left. You might notice some sounds or sighs. Let them out. I just noticed that. Let those out. That's a release of stress. And one more. Good. Now I'm going to rotate back through the center. And we're gonna work on folding forward in different ways. So feet are about hips distance apart or just a little wider. And you're gonna hinge forward. If some of you are uncomfortable going all the way, you're gonna let your elbows rest here and then just look down. Some of us might waterfall down. And then just releasing our shoulders, head, neck, moving the head around a little bit. Taking some breaths. Now let's fold a little bit more toward the left. So can you walk your hands a little to the left and then folding a little more to the left. Inhale, exhale. And then let's take that over to the right. And then bringing it back to the center, fold a little deeper maybe. And then let's feel the feet anchoring us safely to the ground and our sitting bones anchoring us safely to the chair as we go ahead and we roll up back to a seated position. Hands now coming to the knees. We'll make some big circles. And take your time with this. Really go inside and feel. Because you might want to move your head around a little bit more, and some of us might not, so just check in. Let it feel kind of free. I'm going to start adding a little bit more movement if I'm comfortable. Nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and lift myself up. Once I come to an upright position, let's do a little for the legs here and the hips. So I'm just going to squeeze and hold my left knee up and then bring my nose down. So we're stimulating the vagal nerve here, breathing into the belly. And then if I can, I'm going to hook that left ankle just above the right knee for figure 4 or tree pose. And then I might gently kind of bring my upper body forward for a little bit deeper stretch. Please be mindful. Good, and then I'm going to go ahead and just roll it back up. Now can we cross knee on knee? This is eagle. All right, so we're going to kind of squeeze the legs together, and then we'll lift the arms and just take the right arm on top. Now some of us will just wrap like this, kind of like a big hug. Some of us might know eagle arms, or we might be able to bring the elbows on top and the palms together. Either one is fine. You want to squeeze the legs and the arms together and then bring the upper body toward the lower body. Taking a deep breath in and out. Good, and then let's lift that up and let's just turn that into a big hug. So go ahead and just hug right around. Maybe bringing your hands or patting your back. Taking a nice, slow, deep breath in and out. They say a 3-breath hug with another person or with yourself has a calming effect on your nervous system. So let's try one more. And then let's relax out of that. Shake it out a little bit. Take your foot, shake it out. Unlock the jaw, right? We're going to check in. Let's check in, hand to heart. right side now. Hug that right knee in, give it a little squeeze, stimulate your digestion a little bit. You can roll your ankle, hook it, figure four or tree pose. Forward if you can. Are you breathing? Let your breath replace thinking. Thinking is a big source of fight, flight, or freeze, everyone. Right? I think we all know this, right? We have to take breaks from the thinking. Okay, let's see if we can slide now that right knee on top like you're sitting in a skirt, in a chair. Scoop your arms up a little bit, and then left arm on top. You can eagle wrap, bringing the hands and elbows together, or you can do a big hug. And exhale, squeeze the upper into the lower, pull your belly button slightly in, but not enough so you can't breathe. Unlock your jaw and take a couple of breaths. Good, and then go ahead and lift yourself up, roll your arms out, and then give yourself a great big hug. 3 full breaths. The kind of hug you like. The kind of hug that tells your body it's safe to be right here. Your body is a pharmacy. And relax. Shake that out. Kick it out. All right. If you are able, let's do a little standing up here. All right, just taking a nice hips distance apart between your feet. And what we're going to do here is just to kind of rock. Rock from side to side. You can bend your knees a little bit to do this. I want you to just kind of get inside of it. We're just going to do some rocking. Now, if it's helpful to you to kind of do this crisscross or even hands at the heart, slow it way down, and let's go one more time each way. Good, and then just bring yourself into a nice firm and balanced posture where you feel steady. And you might close your eyes and just work from your body, from the standpoint of your body to feel steady. And then let's go back to hearing the sounds in the room. And can you just let the sounds be as they are? Not moving toward them or away from them, letting them be as they are. Not reacting. Good. All right, now, if you're able to, we're just going to draw some circles. So we're going to lift our arms up. Hands could come together at the top and then through the heart. And then they're just easy circular motions. And you want to start to kind of move with your breath. Could you do 2 more like this, or your variation? All right, now can we just start to sway from side to side? And here you could do a little tap of your hands onto your hips. Good, and then we'll come back to center and we'll shake that out. Good. Finding yourself back in your mountain pose. steadying yourself again, and this one might not be for everyone. We're going to work on those folds, right? So lifting up and then gently folding forward. And you want to bend your knees to do this. So we want to come straight ahead. And if you can, grab onto your elbows, let your chin come to your chest, and just kind of unwind your spine, head, and neck. Take a couple of breaths. Knees can be as bent as you need to be. And then see if you can drop your arms, so drop the elbows, and just fold a little bit more over toward the left. And then back through the center, and then folding a little bit more over to the right. Letting out any sounds or sighs. And then back through the center, anchoring through the feet. So we feel that sense of grounding and safety as we roll ourselves up one vertebra at a time. And then, of course, we want to take a moment to shake it out. And as you do, see if you could take your feet out a little bit wider than your hips. Okay, so now a little bit wider than your hips. And then lift your arms about halfway up, and then bring your shoulder blades together. I'll show this from the side or from the back. You're just going to squeeze down and release that tension between your shoulder blades. Lift and open your heart. You can lift your eyes up toward the sky. Just play around inside of this for a moment and just keep rolling those shoulders back. Try that a couple times. Roll them back. Keep the breath moving. Now, some of us might want to go ahead and hinge forward here, right? So we can lift our hands to the sky. Some days mine go up, sometimes they don't, right? And then I'm going to just kind of release the head, neck, jaw, mouth. And then I'm going to lower my hands if they're lifted, and then just waterfall down to the ground. Take another breath in and out. Good, and then we're going to slowly roll up. Lifting the hands up to the heart. And then let's go back to a little bit of a rocking motion. So my feet are a little further than they were before. And I'm just going to go back into that slow rocking motion from side to side. And now I'm going to just let my arms come up and down a couple times. Keep breathing. You might hear me kind of letting out some sighs here, and then you might want to rotate kind of the other way. Nice. And just letting your arms fall down to your sides, shaking that out a little bit. Right? So in between, we're really working on kind of letting go of any tension that comes up. How are you feeling, everyone? Check in and see how you're feeling. So you really want to notice things like, you know, do the standing up poses work better for my nervous system? Do the seated ones? Is it the breathing? Is it the counting, right? So noticing all the time what would work for you. And then we start using that in our everyday life, making a huge difference in quality of life. Okay. The next invitation is going to be to lay on the ground, possibly with your lower legs up on the seat of the chair. Now you don't have to do this, right? I'm going to demonstrate. This is a great way to calm the mind and the body. And we're going to do a little bit of a body scan here. So you could just lay flat on your back if you don't want to lift your lower legs. Do you see how the backs of my knees are up against the edge of the chair? Right? And then I'm in a straight line, and I can stretch my arms out if that's how I want to do this. Now, What are some other options? So you could just lay on your back on the ground if you wanted, without your legs lifted up. Or you could just sit back in your chair, making sure that you have support. Or you could take a second chair and then use the second chair to lift your legs and feet. All right? So I'm going to stay here. I'm going to give you a moment to figure out where you want to be. And again, we want to work with what's happening for us today. So I'm assuming everyone's got a position now. And once you kind of figure out where you can be for the rest of the class, I'd like you to just relax. So just feel the points where you can let go, the seat of the chair, the floor, the back of the chair, wherever you might be. And just start to relax and settle. Sometimes we don't get it quite right the first time and we have to move ourselves around a little bit. So this is a point of awareness. Can I actually feel grounded, comfortable, and can I relax here? You may close your eyes if you like, and let's begin with a few really nice, long, slow, deep belly breaths. I love practicing belly breathing when I'm laying down. Notice the quality of the exhalation, that the exhale can kind of help us release the stress, can help us release the stress from the body. All right, and I'm going to guide you through the body now. Breathing in, aware of your face. Breathing out, can you relax or soften your face? Eyes, mouth, jaw, brow, teeth, tongue. Breathing in, aware of the neck and throat. And when you breathe out, can you find some softness here? And sometimes the answer could be no, so don't worry about that, but just notice. Breathing in, aware of the shoulders. And then breathing out to relax the shoulders. And let's include the arms, hands, and fingers. Just letting the tension melt out. Breathing in, aware of the chest, around the heart, the rib cage. And breathing out, letting these areas relax and soften all the way inside. Breathing in, aware of the belly. And breathing out, relaxing the belly all the way through. And breathing in, aware of your hips and your glutes as you sit or lie down.
soften. Unclenching those big glute muscles. Inhaling, aware of your upper legs, your thighs. How about those creases between your hips and your legs? And exhale, let them soften and deepen. Your thighs, your hip creases. And then your knees. Breathing out to relax your knees. Breathing in, aware of your calves and shins. Breathing out, letting those muscles just be at ease, nothing else. Breathing in, aware of your ankles, feet, and toes. Breathing out, relaxing your ankles, feet, and toes. Breathing in, aware of your spine. Breathing out, relaxing your lower spine. Relaxing the middle of your spine. Relaxing the top of your spine. Breathing in, aware of your shoulder blades. And breathing out, letting your shoulder blades glide down your back. Breathing in, aware of the back of your head and neck. Exhaling to let your head and neck soften. And now just using a gentle breath to release any stress anywhere in your body. Giving yourself the time, the space, and the attention to rest now. Just resting. Can you say to yourself, in this moment, I'm safe enough, or in this moment, all is well? And you might notice that you have that kind of embodied feeling of being calm or peaceful or relaxed. So just note how you're feeling. Wherever you are now, you might start to take a bigger stretch. So reaching your arms up and over your head, or rolling your ankles, pointing and flexing. If your feet are on the chair like mine, I'm just going to bend my knees and hug my knees in, give them a squeeze, and I'm going to roll to my side. This is the probably best way to come out if you are legs on the chair. Once you've given yourself a moment to shift, you can go ahead and bring yourself back upright. You could stay on the floor if you were already there. My folks who are in the chair, you might want to place your feet on the ground. Let's give ourselves a moment to acknowledge
the time that we spent today in helping to build a resilient stress response, a resilient nervous system. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Give yourself a little bow. I hope you have something now that you can take with you and you can begin to use. Take your time, everyone, cleaning your stuff up, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for joining me.